With me right now, Frank Taaffe. This is friend and neighbor of George Zimmerman. Mr. Taffy, I want to thank you for being with us. And specifically...
Thank you, Nancy. You're my hero.
Well, I appreciate that. Maybe not after I ask you these questions. Tell me about George Zimmerman's injuries. I want to hear about his broken nose and the blows to the back of his head. And I want to know, I'm sure you've heard the 911 calls too by now. You're sitting there. I just played them. Do you believe that was George Zimmerman screaming for help?
Yes, I do. Nancy, his injuries are consistent with self-defense.
Did he break his nose?
Yes, he did.
And were there gashes to the back of his head?
I believe that Trayvon had him on the ground and he was slamming his head against the concrete.
Have you seen the injuries?
No, I haven't seen the injuries. I only heard the police report that was corroborated by the Orlando Sentinel and the Sanford Police.
Back to you, Mr. Taffy. Again, thank you for being with me. Mr. Taffy, you stated that George Zimmerman, your friend's injuries are consistent with a beating, having his head slammed into the sidewalk, and that he did have a broken nose. But as we were going to break, they were playing the music so loud in my ear I couldn't hear. Did you say you have not seen the injuries?
I only read in the Orlando Sentinel that recently was corroborated by the Sanford Police Department. Nancy, I just want to share this with you. You know, you're a criminal lawyer, and there's two words: due process. I think we need to let due process work here and not disrespect my friend, George Zimmerman. And let's go forward and let the authorities do what they have to do.
Well, here's my concern, and I agree with everything you just said. But
thank you.
When there is a dead body, and my experience as a homicide prosecutor, there is an arrest, and if there's a self-defense claim, that is made in front of a jury. And also, Mr.
Nancy,
Taffy,
his injuries were consistent with the self-defense theory here. Look at the facts in the case.
I am.
Bloodied
and what's
nose,
concerning me
cut
is
in the back of the head.
I get it. I get it. But what concerns me, Mr. Taffy, is I get it. I hear what you're saying. But they told Mr. Zimmerman not to pursue him. That makes George Zimmerman the original aggressor. He should not have been doing that. He should not have been armed.
I spoke to a former law enforcement deputy, and he stated to me the first maneuver, defensive position, is when there's a police stop and or any sort of investigation that the officers are told to leave their car. And
but he's not an officer.
They
told him not to go.
He just wanted to, Nancy,
and this makes him the aggressor.
I
mean, you can't go into a
bar
and then complain you got into a fight. Mr. Taffy, I'm not picking on you. But what I'm telling you is this, and I want to hear your answer. What concerns me about him claiming self-defense is you don't go into a bar and then get in a fight and claim self-defense. They told him, don't go after this person. He did. I can hear him kind of breathing, going after him. I heard him say, all these get away. I heard him say, right? I heard that with my naked ear.
I didn't hear that. I heard the tape. I heard something completely different.
Well, I'm going to play it for you in just a minute. So,
I've heard it.
I mean, that sounds like
he's saying effing cold. He's saying it's effing cold. He does not enunciate that word that you're saying clearly. It's inaudible. So
you know what?
You're out there. You're out there. No.
I hear
you're a little
what
out
I
of line,
hear.
Nancy, on this.
No, oh no, oh no.
I know what I heard too.
Okay, play it, Dana.
You know what?
Play it right now.
Play it.
I didn't hear cold. Parks, did you hear cold?
I hear cold. He said coon.
Mr. Taffy, I think I've got some bad news for you because we just looked up on the almanac. Was that where you looked, Clark?
Yeah, there's
Okay, online almanac. It was 62 degrees. 62 degrees. I'm putting on a bikini and laying out in the front yard.
In Orlando, Florida, it's pretty cold, Nancy. Okay, Orlando, Florida.
You know what, Taffy?
It's cold.
You've got a good reputation
we wear
up
Parkers
until now.
when it's 55.
But telling me 62 degrees is cold, it's going to be a problem. The point I'm making is, if he was the original aggressor, then how can he claim self-defense? Okay, your turn, Taffy. Go.
Okay. The injuries sustained by George Zimmerman are consistent with the self-defense claim. What did he do, Nancy? After he shot Trayvon, he got up and punched himself in the nose and cut him in the back of his own head,
if I may.
and then put grass stains on him? Look at the facts. Look at the facts.
Nancy, if I may.
Go.
Please.
You have a man with a gun who's patrolling, who calls for
How
no
did
reason.
He get the broken nose?
Your turn, Parks. You go.
No,
Hey,
answer that. I
no,
want to hear, how
let
did
me
he
tell
do
you
it?
something.
How did it
He was the
happen?
aggressor.
Come on.
He's following. He
Okay.
calls it.
He
He's a
punched himself in
suspect
his
for
own
no
nose?
reason at all.
He punched himself in his own nose
Well,
and hit him
let
in
me
the
say
back
this
of the
here.
head.
If
On
you
his
go
own?
start,
Please.
if you go
Come
start
on,
a fight,
No, gentlemen, I get it, Taffy. He did not punch himself in his own nose. I know he didn't bang his head in the sidewalk. I get it. Okay, Parks.
But let me say this here.
Hit it, Parks.
He went after. He was following Trayvon. Okay, no question about it. He was. They tell him not to follow Trayvon, right?
We had
he gets out of the car. If he gets out of the car and he goes toward Trayvon,
males.
Well, you know what?
This is Parks' turn, Taffy. Wait.
It's very clear. You're Zimmerman's friend.
Cut his mic.
You targeted him. You profiled him. You killed him. Zimmerman will be arrested.
Okay, I got the tail end of that, but I think I got the gist of it.